Kick it.
Hi, my name is Ed Griswold. I'm with Hi-Tech Enterprises. I'm here today to show you our new StreamBreeze system. I'm going to demonstrate the StreamBreeze Mini. It's a 4 live video input, and it allows you to switch in between the 4 live inputs, whether they be cameras or any other video sources, you know, VCRs, DVDs, whatever they may be. And allows you to stream that live on the web in real time up to 1 megabyte per second with the StreamBreeze Mini. We have other StreamBreeze systems that allow you to go up to much higher bit rates, but the Mini is set to a 1 megabyte per second limitation. So now I'm going to show you the desktop so you can see how it starts up in the default configuration. Okay, when the software first starts up, what you'll see is the program module, and then you'll see your 4 main camera inputs. You can see them labeled here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm only using 3 inputs at this point in time. In fact, I can clear this one out, take that clear. Just want to show that one off to you in a little while. But right now, I'm running primarily 2 cameras into the system, camera 1 and camera 2. One of them is directly in front of me, the other one is off to my left. And also an introduction to the other modules that are in the system. Like I said, you know, camera 4. We're not going to use camera 4. And one of the great things about this system is if you're not using an input, well, guess what? You don't have to have it on your desktop. I can right click and remove that module, and it's gone. It's out of here until I need it later. If I need it, if something comes up and I have a source, I can actually go and get that, and after plugging it in, go and engage that module and on the fly add the input. Now back to the desktop, and you'll see I've got a video overlay module, I have a video effects module, and just above that, player 1, recorder module, then my audio and my streaming modules. Now all these modules that you can see are modal. I can move them around. And what that means is several things. The main thing is it allows you to configure your desktop as to how you want to use it. So you can actually set it up as an operator and define all your individual inputs and the modules you're going to use, such as your player module. And if you're going to use multiple player modules, you're limited to only to 15 modules you can have active at one time on the StreamBreeze Mini. Now that can be any kind of configuration you want to, as far as if it's just 2 camera inputs and 5 player modules or 5 overlay modules. You know, really you can configure it to a number of different ways. And then you can save that setup and recall that setup anytime you want to. So that also allows you to even set up your system on a project basis. So if you have projects coming up in the future, you can actually go in there, incorporate all your content, bring in your lower thirds, your clips, do all your settings, have that pre-set up, you know, days, weeks, months in advance. So that when you do show up for that event, you simply open the profile and everything comes in, all set up, all the content's loaded, you're ready to go. Well, back to the desktop, and we'll look at the program module here. Like I said, it's also modal. Also, this module, I can also resize it depending on my desktop space. So if I'm working on a very small monitor, I can shrink it down and allow me to bring in more modules on my desktop, depending on my desktop resolution. I'll set this back to the default. And also, you can see the audio module here. This allows me to control my audio levels. And typically you're going to run them somewhere between -12 and -6 is about your average, what you want to run. That's typical for streaming and recording. Getting back to these other modules here, and let me separate them a little bit so you can see them a little better. And let's look at the recording module. The recording module allows you to record whatever you switch, whatever you see here on your program module is what you'll record. The main thing is you want to right click and set your folder where you're going to record to. I can select that and I'll navigate to my drive here and I'll select my temp folder and hit OK, so that when I do start recording, it'll show you the program out, and it also shows you how much time you've recorded and how much time you have left on your drive to recording. So basically I've recorded 10 seconds and I have a little over 400 hours of recording space on the system. The system, the StreamBreeze Mini, comes with a separate recording drive built into it and gives you well over 400 hours of recording time when you're recording at the default WMV 10 megabyte per second. That's the amount of time it gives you as far as recording. You can record at a much higher rate if you want to. You can actually record an uncompressed AVI file, but you're going to get much less time. You're going to get about a tenth of that time on there. So I'm just going to stop that since we're not really going to use that. Really don't really need it for the demonstration purposes. And once you stop your recording, what you do want to remember is after you stop it, you want to go in and save it. If you don't save it, then the software, if you go do anything else, it will nag you and say, you sure you want to save this? Do you want to do something? It's going to kind of nag you a little bit because it doesn't really want you to lose that file. One thing you do want to be aware of is when it does save that file, it always saves it at this is the default name. So if you're going to be doing multiple recordings, you want to make sure that you, before you go, the next step is you go in and record that so that it won't overwrite, because it won't tell you if you're going to overwrite it, because it's assuming you're fairly intelligent. So then hit save and it's done. The next module we want to look at is the streaming module. And this module allows you a number of different options. As you can see here, if I right click on the module, that gives me access to my setups and what I'm going to stream to. I can stream to a Windows Media Server. There's also a network port. That's basically for doing pulls. And then you have Flash Media Server. Virtual video device, that allows me to do a number of things. And one of the biggest things that allows me to do is run encoders separately. I can run Flash Media encoders separately and then source the VVD. Or if I have to go stream on an external website going through a portal. And that portal can then source the virtual video device. So that really is one of the other really flexible features behind the StreamBreeze system. As you can also see, we have some pre-built-in plugins for Livestream, Ustream, Bamboozer, and Justin. So if you have an account in one of those, you can simply select them and then right-click and go in and set your settings, your channel, user, and password, so your login information. You also have control over your quality. Basically, that's your bit rate, and you can see you can go up to 1.12 kilobytes. It's a little over a megabyte per second, which is broken up between video and audio. The video is at 1,000 kilobytes or 1 megabyte per second, and that's a really high quality standard def stream. If you get into our higher def systems, they go upwards of 30 megabytes per second as a high end. So all the systems are quite capable of delivering a very high quality stream. You also have control over your codec here, VP6 or AH.264, and your resolution. When you have it set to auto, what that means is it's going to stream at whatever this program display is set. Whatever your project is set to, that's what it's going to stream at. But if you don't want to stream at that, it does give you the ability to go ahead and change that size. So you actually have physical control over it. So if you're recording at one resolution and you want your stream to be at a different resolution, that's where this comes in really handy. Now down next to our audio module here. Oh, let me open that up. The audio module allows you to pick, not only control your audio level, but also allows you to choose your source of the audio. How are you coming in? You simply right-click and go to your audio devices. Depending on the system configuration, by default, we typically will choose the input here, 1A input. but we do have the ability to choose other inputs as well. Now I'm choosing my front mic just so that we have something here bouncing around so that you can see it in real time. Like I said, this is my level control right here. And then down to our player module, we have the player module. This allows you to bring in your different video clips. In the player modules, you can play back WMV files, MOVs, MP4s, AVIs, you know, the popular file types that are out there. The player module also allows you to import stills, bring in JPEGs. For if you're going to do some type of a slideshow presentation or something of that nature. And one of the really great things that I like to do is not only just have one player module open, but have a couple multiple player modules. And I'm going to go over here and to add one, simply go to your modules, add, come down, select player, and within a couple of seconds, the player module will pop up in the screen, and I can take this and drag this into position. And for instance, I'm going to use this one for stills. Now I can get there, I can do stills by either click open and navigate and bring in stills, or another really fast and efficient way to do it is to open up your browser navigator here, and I'm going to open this up and I'm going to go to my pictures. I'll go here to my samples, and one really cool thing you can do is you can actually grab a picture, drag it, and drop it, and that will load it up automatically for you. And if I get my display just right, if I squeeze this over like so, then that allows me to actually change things on the fly as much as I want to. Now, another thing to keep in mind is once you've opened up one picture in a directory, the module actually, if you look at the drop down, actually will show you every photo in that's available in that directory. It automatically goes out and looks at it and says, okay, this is what's available, and I can switch between those. And when it comes to switching live in the system, it's just simple as a mouse click. All I do is click my mouse, and there it is, I'm switching live. Same thing with my video players. I can come up here. Now the video players, you want to set those up so that when you do switch to them, they'll start playing. So if I right click and I choose, play on take, and if I want to, I can actually loop it. In this case, I don't want it to loop, but I do want it to play on take. And what that means is as soon as I click it and activate it, it starts playing immediately. And also, the fact that I can see it here on my program out, also I get a little red indicator. And you'll see these little indicators, they're synonymous amongst all of the modules. If they're active, not only do you typically see the video, but you also see that indication as well. And here I'm playing a WMV file back. But like I said earlier, you can play back AVIs, MOVs, MP4s. There are a number of file types that will play back. And then I simply click the mouse and switch back to my camera. Like I said earlier, it's very easy to run the system. Simply just by clicking the mouse, I can change over to another camera view and then back. And you go back and forth. Now you can also control the transition from between the cameras and also your player modules by right-clicking on those modules and going to transition, and I could set my dissolve, whether it be a fast, medium, or slow, or a hard cut. So if I'm going to go from camera 1 over to camera 2, and it's a nice hard cut, so it's very quick, just like so. Now, something you might have also noticed is this little guy sitting up right here on top of my monitor. And that's a webcam. Now, in the back of the system, there are 4 inputs, and that's the 4 analog composite inputs. But one thing you can do with the system is if you have a webcam and it's compatible with Windows 7, the software will see it as an input. So once you've plugged it in and installed all the drivers to control it, you can actually switch, bring it as part of your switch. If you're in a scenario where you have a control room feed or a dock camera, if you need a document camera or some type of other camera such as a USB camera, USB microscopes for those out there who want to do more of a science kind of shows, your imagination can really run wild. And simply after plugging it in, all I have to do is bring in my camera module, drop it down in this case, and choose Microsoft LiveCam, and there it is, and it's ready to switch. It's really Quite simple and quite easy. And you can see it here. I've got it active. And I can switch back to my camera one. Camera one is my wide feed. Now, when it comes to doing like things like overlays, overlays are PNG files that have the alpha information, allowing you to do lower thirds or any type of overlay graphic where you want the graphic to be on top of the video, but to be able to look through the graphic and see the video. And the easiest way to show that off is to, let me go back one spot here, and I've got a little test, some little test graphics I can bring in and show you. I'm going to drop this right on my overlay, and I'll click on it to activate it, and it's on top of the video. Really, there again, really easy. And also remember, because I've sourced that one graphic from that directory, now all I need to do is just do it. Is click the drop down, and it will show me anything else that is compatible that I can use in that directory. Or I can backstep one here and grab another one and drop that in place. And there it is with style. And then click and it's gone. So it's, like I said earlier, it's easy as clicking the mouse. Click on, click off. Switch over to player two that has my still. And then I can go to player one. It'll automatically play the video clip. Now, another really interesting module I could show you is the video effect module. The video effect module here, this allows you to do a number of different effects. And there's a drop down. Once you click the drop down, it'll show you all the different effects it can do. And one of the probably the most popular effect people that like is the picture-in-picture. So I'll choose that effect, and then I'll choose my source. I'm going to choose camera one, and that's my background. And then this little black box, well, that is the secondary source, and I'll choose player one as that, and I'll start my player there, have it playing, and then I can switch to it, and there it goes. There's my picture-in-picture. Now the picture-in-picture, you can move it around. You can also, if you position your mouse just right, you can also size it, crop it. So this comes in really handy when you're doing live presentations with PowerPoints and those kind of things. You can actually bring those in, your secondary inputs, and place them in the picture-in-picture. And you can switch between, say, that input back and forth to this input. And then, like I said, just clicking the mouse, going around, and switching my inputs. Really flexible, really fast. Another effect I'd like to show off for you is the chroma key effect, which is, hence you see the green screen behind me. So what I'm going to do is I want to go up here and choose chroma key, and I'll choose my camera one as my input, and we'll put player two in there so you can actually see it, and then I'll switch to it, and there you go. You can see that leaf. Now what's happening is the chroma key is trying to look at the entire screen. We can size that leaf down and that flower down if we want to. And how we would do something like that is I'd move this module down here like so, and I would bring in another video effect module like this. And I'm going to change that. I'm going to do a pip, and we'll set the pip to be player two. And back over to the first effect, I'll select a video effect 2. And I'll position my little picture here. There we go. You can get that position just right. There we are. And that shows you how flexible, how strong the system is. Just kind of showing off the ability to set up and take care of different instances that may pop up. This is just one demonstration of the StreamBreeze, and I'm looking forward to bringing you a lot more demonstrations in the future. Thank you for taking the time to tune in and watch it. Have a great day. Kick it.